Welcome in, everybody, as we open up another tab here at the NXT Saloon, and we are covering NXT tonight as well as Vengeance Day. I am joined by one of my normal co hosts, the Ginger Ninja, who today is a very special day for him. It is his birthday. So I want to make sure everybody in this chat tonight is wishing him a happy birthday. And then we got a special guest from the Table Spot as well as The Boom and Friday Night Review, Mr. KMG, the Bearded Wonder. How are y'all guys doing tonight?
Yo, what up, man? I'm just happy to be here, man.
I'm going to be completely honest with both of you gentlemen. I'm completely fucking stoned.
But is that different than any other day?
I am extremely more stoned today because I have not stopped than I normally am.
Okay, that's a fair assessment. I would have been surprised if you didn't even sleep at all and just kept going all day.
I've been going since 8 this morning.
Yeah, it's pretty close. So let's jump into this and go right into what happened tonight on NXT. So we're just going to touch on the major points tonight as opposed to going through the entire rundown because we do have to cover Vengeance Day as well. So let's start off with Ilya's promo tonight when he comes out. What was your thoughts on the Cam?
Man, I thought I thought it was pretty great. You know, like I said, Ilya is right now he's just on top of the world, man. Like he's great. I think he's like pretty much the standard bearer right now for NXT. Anybody he gets in the ring with, he obviously makes them better, and you know and that right there is something to witness, and he definitely elevates the NXT division. So yeah, like I say, anything Ilya does right now is just great.
Jax?
Yeah, I totally agree with Cam. Like he's he was amazing in NXT UK. Like the matches him and Walter at the time had in the NXT UK circuit were some of the hardest hitting matches I've ever seen. And I'm so glad to see that they've let Ilya Dragunov still be that hard hitting guy. And like Cam says, he elevates everyone when they step in the ring. He takes you from we're not half assing my matches. It's all or nothing here.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I don't like that he called out Carmelo Hayes.
You didn't like that?
You've beaten him once, Ilya. Time to move on. Time you want a title. Okay. You don't need to stop beating someone you know you can beat.
Thanks for the cheers, Sammy. We appreciate it.
Sammy.
I don't think he called him out for that specific reason. I think he called him out because this guy has been on his ass the last month, 2 months about blaming him for being the one that attacked Trick. When, in a sense, it was Mello the entire time, which is what he's been saying. So he called him out for being a lying, no good piece of shit, essentially. I don't think it was more so for a match. He just wanted to beat his ass. Didn't necessarily need to be a match.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But this promo, like, it was so passionate. Like, he just gets behind everything he's saying, and he digs deep. Like, he makes it just the way he says things is just so good, and it gets everybody involved. Was not suspecting Dijak to come out and answer the call, though. That surprised me. And we had a great match in the main event, which we'll get to in a bit, that came from this.
Dijak's been on a little bit of a roll lately. He thinks it's his turn.
I'm ready. I'm ready for Dijak to really win something big, though. Like I know, like a long time ago, I wanted him to win the NXT North American Championship, and I feel like that was overdue for him a while ago. Like I wanted him to be a long time ago. I wanted him to be Wes Lee when Wes Lee was in NXT North American champion. But they just had other plans for him. They completely went a different direction with it. So I'm ready for him to win something big for sure. And I think a feud with Ilya I think will give him again, like I said, it definitely will elevate him, and it'll give him it'll make him feel more like real, if that makes a lick of sense. Like not so like robotic. Like he's got this whole like Terminator shtick, you know. But I think a feud with Elia will like I said, it'll make him look more badass, you know, like a legit badass.
Yeah, especially if he can knock off Ilya.
Right.
He's gonna look fucking like a powerhouse.
Yeah, I mean, we all know what he can do from when he was Dominic Dijakovic and his matches with Keith Lee when he was the North American champion and Keith Lee was the world champion. They had the belt for belt, title for title match. Like that match was a fucking banger. And we all thought that Dominic Dijakovic at that time was going to be a superstar. And then he got sidetracked with the little retribution T-bar shit. And
I
it kind of
fucking
brought
love
his
T-Bar.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily him. It was just the entire storyline that brought him down.
T-Bar was
And
just shit. He was the mastermind.
he hates that. If you call him that, he goes off on you because
Oh,
he said it.
fucking
I
He
don't
said
blame
it to
him.
he said it to a fan. They called him that in the airport, and he's like,
Don't tell me
"Dude,
that. I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
I have a new bucket list item: a T-Bar mask signed by him.
He'll probably throw it at you.
he'll probably sign it and then throw it in the trash."
I'd pay him extra to sign it.
Hey Al, hey Will,
Hello,
what's going on tonight?
Allison. Hello, Will.
So moving on from that, we had Mello come out later in the show, right at the turn of the hour. You know how they normally do it, just to make sure they're keeping their viewers and everything. Mello pulled a little fast one this morning. The start of the show, he came out, didn't say anything, and just walked out. I was like, "Nope, not now." And you thought he was leaving for the night, but he came back out in this like get up. Like I don't even know what he was wearing. It looked like he was ready for war. Like he was all in like almost like this vest type thing.
That
And
jacket was that. I want that jacket.
and he
I
just
would rock
sat
that jacket
he
though.
just sat there with his glasses on, and the way that they came back from commercial break with him already sitting in the ring was done perfectly because you had just the light shining down on him. He just looked like he was like ready to go.
On a
Ah.
trip in his favorite rocket ship.
You're talking about little Einsteins.
Well, he looked like he was getting ready to go on a trip in a rocket ship, dude. Like, I'm a firm believer. I'm going to sidebar for a split second that the WWE pays these people a lot of money, and this is 2 nights in a row now that I have seen on national television a man not knowing how apparently doesn't own a mirror than Seth Rollins because he didn't match for shit last night, and then Carmelo Hayes showed up looking like a
Like an
gangster
astronaut?
from Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever you want to call it, whatever fandom you are. I personally like the Star Wars. But you got to tell me a multi-billion-dollar company don't have mirrors backstage?
I just want his jacket. That jacket is cold. I don't care what anybody says.
But
But no,
what do you think of this
I
promo, Cam?
oh yeah. So first off, opening NXT, him coming out, not saying anything, being berated by the fans. I'll make a comparison real quick. We can throw it back some years to when Roman was still the big dog and he beat Undertaker and supposedly retired the dead man. And he came out and he didn't say a word for
That
like a solid 10
fi-
minutes.
that went at least a good 10 minutes. And he just took it in.
It's just F you Roman, please go away, all this stuff. And then he just said, "This is my yard now," and dropped the mic and walked out. This is the same thing with Mello. Mello was just like, not now. I'm gonna make you wait. And just picked up his chair and just left. Like it was perfect. Done perfectly. And then when we finally did get the segment when he's actually making his explanation, it was just it was just the icing on the cake. Like it was done very, very well. And so if you ask me, I feel like that man was the show tonight. Like it was a solid NXT across the board, I think. But that man was a big part of this show tonight. Like he carried, I think. And I even love the part where, you know, Trick's music hit and I'm thinking, oh man, you know, Trick's about to come out, you know, and which I didn't even want because see how I want this to play out. Like I want Trick gone for like 2-3 weeks. Like let Mello just wreak havoc, and then Trick comes back and he's just a freaking bat out of hell, just storming down the entrance ramp, and he comes in, he's just wailing on Carmelo. Like this is going to be the feud of going into like Mania time, Chamber time, whatever. This is going to be the hottest feud we're going right now.
I don't think they actually face off until Stand and Deliver.
Perfect.
Because there'll be Battleground, which is in May. I think one, if not both, will be called up by then.
Love it. Because this is that big of a feud. And so I love that part too. And I'm thinking, Trick's coming out. And then it pans to the entrance ramp, and you see, you hear Trick's music going off, and then it pans back to the ring, and Mello's just like he's just mocking them the whole time. I'm like, this is perfect. Like they booked this so well, it's crazy. So I'm loving heel Mello. Like he can't miss, like he says, he just can't.
He fooled everybody with the Trick's music hitting. It was done perfectly. He's blaming everybody but himself, though.
Yeah.
He's essentially not taking responsibility for doing it. He's like, Trick made me do it. He skipped over me. He went for the belt that's mine. Like, the fans made me do it. That's what he said last night. You guys made me do it. It's your fault that I did this. He said, I'm not jealous of him. Yes, you are. If you were not jealous of him, you would not have attacked him and tried to get him from not having that title match. When he prevented him from wrestling in that fatal 4-way. Jax?
Carmelo can sure get you to hate him and hate that man quick. And they pulled that trigger the perfect timing to build it to Stand and Deliver by Trick attacking what I see as the baby face for NXT. Like, he right now, yes, Ilya holds the belt, but Trick is slowly becoming the most recognizable face on NXT. He puts in the work. He keeps his name going. He's got, as much as I hate Booker T's stupid sayings after every time they see a whoop that Trick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's just, I could do without that, but he's got the perfect entrance music. And like, but Carmelo's playing it smart. Like he's just toying with people. Playing with you, that's the one thing that will get people. Play with their emotions.
And his entrance traveled with him when he came out on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like the fans knew who he was. And that's what they've been trying to strive for when they're moving from NXT to the main rosters. They're trying for that seamlessness to where fans recognize who is coming based off of their music and what they've done.
I wish they would have put Trick in the Rumble just because it'd have been cool to hear 40,000 plus people yelling "whoop that Trick."
He was backstage. He was backstage. I was surprised they didn't put him in there.
Jey Uso's entrance, when you have 40,000+ people simultaneously just doing this.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
It looked amazing on TV. I'm not gonna lie.
Getting that whole crowd that were just fired up from the beginning when Naomi's music hit, and then Jordan, and then Jade, I think having Trick Williams in the Royal Rumble instead of yes, that's how God intended me to spend my birthday. I have a shirt on right now, by the way. I don't have any pants on. I came in this world naked. But
Shadow.
I would have much rather had Trick Williams in the Rumble than Carmelo Hayes.
I could agree with that.
So,
Tommy, I'm scared of Jax. Yeah, I mean, just it was done perfectly tonight. It made Mello look like that badass that you want to hate, that you don't want to get behind. Like he went from the fan favorite to a badass heel overnight. And that's exactly what he needed to do in this situation. And if Trick is gone for a couple weeks, it's gonna make it more impactful when he comes back. So I don't think he should come back next week. I think it should be the week after or the week after that. So I agree with Cam on that sentiment.
yeah, leave him out for a little bit. I agree with that.
Anything else we want to touch on this part of the show before we move on?
Nope.
I'm a rocking man.
So
I'm sorry.
we have 2 more segments to talk about for this. I want to talk about this Briggs segment in the back with Jensen. Like, this was something we normally don't see from Briggs. Like, this was passion. Like, this, he got up in his face. He's like, you need to be a man and step up or get the hell out of the way of other people trying to get in here. And I don't know. Is that what you guys got from it too? Like, how he's like, dude, grow up. Like, I'm not your caretaker anymore.
I'm so glad Cam's here because he doesn't get to witness the inner workings of my mind. Which one's Bull Buchanan's son?
Bull Buchanan.
One of those 2 are his sons.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's the one with the mullet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost sure Bull Buchanan's son is the dude with the mullet.
I'll tell you in 1 second. It is. It's Brooks Jensen.
Fuck yes! I'm so fucking smart! I knew something Scalz didn't know. Holy shit! Y'all
That's your
record,
birthday.
I'll clip the fuck out of this. It's going on TikTok.
That's your birthday present to me from me.
But I want to see him come out. I want to see him start as of next week immediately. Sean, listen here, Hick'em, if you're listening, I need you to have him in a fucking white shirt with a black tie. He needs to bring back the right to censor.
Yes. Yes. Let's go.
I so want to see. I'm tired of these no offense. I'm tired of these second generation wrestlers not embracing their legacies. These are like, dude, no offense. No offense. Some of you wouldn't be there if your daddy wasn't Bo Buchanan. All right, buddy. So embrace it.
That's great.
Let's hear Lexus King. I don't care. You will never sell me on that name. Embrace the Pillman.
So, all right. I'm going to segue from that you brought up Lexus King. Did you see what happened today? WWE signed Brian Pillman to a legacy contract through his sister. And so now the family is going to own the rights to his name, everything. And they're going to be putting out new merchandise for Brian Pillman. How
pissed do you think AEW is right now? Because they made a whole Brian Pillman aunt shirt one time. It was like, she fucking rules or something on it.
So now and all the everything's going to go towards the family, like all the money and everything from it. And it was all signed today through the sister.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
That's
so
awesome.
Like things like that, like WWE does, like they don't do things like that often. So it is kind of impressive when they do. Like the most recent one was Bray Wyatt, where they did something for him. They signed a legacy deal for his family, so they get all the proceeds from all the shirts and everything. But I just want to touch base on that because you brought up Lexus King. But yeah, this segment with Briggs and Jensen, obviously we're going to start a feud between the two of them based off of this, I feel. And hopefully it gets Jensen some more ring time, and it actually shows that he has improved because Briggs is like leaps and bounds ahead of him.
He's way over there. He's fucking
I
Brooks and
was
Dunn,
wondering-
man.
I
Listen,
was wondering what you were doing.
Brooks and Dunn are like. I had the pleasure of watching Brooks and Dunn do a tag team together at an NXT house show. It is two Brooks and that's right. That's the country artist. Fuck.
It's the country.
Brooks
man.
and Jensen. Sorry, I was so confident too. I was owning the shit out of that.
I was like, who is Brooks and Dunn? What is he talking about? But I was like, let him run with it. Let him run with it.
I like that I like when tag team partners go at each other because they worked so good as a tag team. I'm just hoping that chemistry leads over into a feud between them two. But
I only like it
Jensen to
when
come out on top.
I only like that when the two can actually benefit from something.
Yeah,
From going solo, because there's always that one person in the tag team that's the more popular, the more talented, and then the other one just kind of falls by the wayside. So unless they can both elevate from feuding, sure.
yeah.
Well, I think it was good that they took Jensen off TV for a little bit because him showing up tonight kind of made this more impactful, saying that he doesn't know where he is without you guys. Like he's lost.
Right.
So I don't think if this was like a week after it happened, it would have been like, what the hell are you talking about? Like it just happened. But it's been like a few months now, so this actually made sense. And then we're going to talk about this main event. Like this was a fucking banger of a match. It's 2 nights in a row that Ilya has been in probably the best match of the night for both nights. And that's saying something for not only himself, but his opponents. Because the 2 people that he worked with are Trick and Dijak, and both of them are world-class athletes.
Yeah.
Jax, what was your favorite part of this match?
My favorite part of this whole match was the crowning jewel of NXT, Joe Gacy, and his fucking fist on a stick. It was awesome. Dude, it's like playing Where's Waldo with Joe Gacy. Like you just search for him. And did anyone notice when Dijak and Ilya were going at it, the NXT sign behind them, the smiley face yellow mask popped up?
Oh, I did not notice that.
Neither of them you go back and watch, the smiley face mask pops up. And neither of them once sold it. They cut to a close shot of them. When they came back to the hard cam, the smiley face was gone.
Oh, I'll have to go back and watch that again.
Yeah. So Gacy's kind of, I think, I'm going to say this. Gacy's crazy enough to go after Ilya and crazy enough to win.
I mean, this man has done phenomenal after that. I want to say failure of a gimmick with the schism and everything else. And I don't know if that was in part due to him, or if it was the fact that GYV no longer wanted to be there and just didn't give a shit. But what he's done since then has been nothing short of phenomenal. And the way he slid out from underneath that ring tonight, just popped him with the fist on the stick and rolled back underneath with that smile on his face was hilarious. Because I'm sitting there watching it with Jackson, Will, and I was ahead of him. So I start laughing and I forget that I'm ahead of them.
It's the best part of NXT.
Jax is like, oh no, something just happened. Scalz is laughing. And then next thing, like 10 seconds later, both him and Will just start busting out. I was like, yep, they saw it.
It was awesome.
What'd you like about this match, Cam?
Well, aside from that, I just like the fact that, like I said, once again, it's just me, admiring the work of Ilya Dragunov. He just goes full throttle in all of his matches. Like the man's bleeding midway through the match. Like he's going at this match as if it's a PLE match. You know, like there is no. It's either it's go hard or go home with him. Like there is no middle ground. He doesn't like Jack says, he doesn't half-ass matches. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like
I-
and like I said, when he does get called up, like it really doesn't matter where he goes, SmackDown or Raw. Like that brand should be privileged to have him because he's gonna put that roster on notice. Like I don't think they're ready for someone as intense like Ilya Dragunov. I don't, you know. So,
I
but
think
it was a great
I
match.
think it's only go hard. I don't think there is
Yeah,
a
as
go
I'm saying,
hard.
like
I like to go on record stating this though: if Sheamus isn't the one to dethrone Gunther at WrestleMania, one of the next big fours, you call up Ilya fucking Dragunov to do it because he is
Yeah.
the only one that was able to dethrone Gunther in NXT UK.
he's the only one. He's the only one intense enough. He's the only one that can match that energy and
Well-
give it back to Gunther tenfold.
I was just gonna say that he's the one that ended Gunther's streak as champion for the UK Championship. So
Yeah.
that would be coming full circle if he did it again for him as the Intercontinental Championship.
And he's come, and I guess, and even from when they faced in NXT UK, he's come a long way since then.
Yeah, he has. Like
So he's not even really the same Ilya from then to now.
they
You know,
both.
I
No,
think he's
he's-
even more intense.
They both.
They're both on a different level from
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. So
That's true.
Because Gunther, aka
Leaner.
Walter, is much leaner, much
Mhm.
more
Mhm.
built. But I mean, it takes away from the way that Walter was, because that physical
True.
force
Yeah.
was so impactful.
Guttural.
Like it just made the
Yeah.
moves look a lot worse than they are.
Yeah.
But now you're getting the speed, the quickness, and
Athleticism,
it just
yeah.
looks like he's just able to do more.
His
I would-
cardio has improved. Yeah.
I've watched, and I hate calling him Gunther, but that's what people are getting to know him as. But I've watched Gunther when he was a bigger guy wrestle Brody King in a PWG match. If you have never seen that, you want to talk about two guys that just go out there and beat the shit out of each other? Like their chops, like these two guys are no holding back. Like, so if Ilya can't dethrone Gunther, you make the next biggest move other than Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. You're bringing Brody King to do it.
He's
Tattoo
kind
I'm not a-
glory,
I'm not a-
son of a bitch.
he's
I'm not
kind of
opposed to
signed
that.
to AEW right now.
I don't contract tamper.
You buy him out.
I mean,
Everyone's
you
got
already
a price.
you already have the other two members of House of Black wanting to come back to WWE, but their contracts aren't up till 2027.
Jesus Christ.
And you know TK, he'll just have people rest at home instead of releasing them. And he'll say, "Oh, we don't release talent."
Give me give me Ilya and Gunther, give me an Iron Man match. That would be insanity. Like, dude, I would love that.
60-minute Iron Man match.
Yes.
Whoever has the most
Fuck.
pinfall.
Yeah.
Make me a little tip.
You imagine they go to like sudden death at like 5 pinfalls a piece? Like that'd be wild.
They're just at the point of crying. Fucking die.
They're just beat red, tired, like crazy.
That would be insane. So let's talk about what happened after the main event. Mello came out and went after him. He answered the bell. He answered what Ilya was saying, and he took it to him. What's that, Jax?
Oh, but he just had to hold the fucking belt up, didn't he? Had to stick his nose where it doesn't belong. You've lost twice, sir. Move on.
So
Can't
okay,
win.
I could see him beating Ilya, and then Trick beating Mello at Stand and Deliver for the title.
Ooh, I like it.
And
I like
that's how Mello gets the official call up to SmackDown and Trick takes over NXT.
I can see that,
I like that.
but he'd have to do it dirty.
Of course.
You couldn't have Trick. You can't have Mello clean pin Elia. It has to be done. If it's not someone that could equal his intensity, it has to be done dirty.
Brass knucks, rake the eyes, something.
It's
I
gonna.
like it.
It could be Trick coming out trying to get Mello, and the ref doesn't see it, and he takes out Ilya instead.
Yeah.
Like, could be something along those lines.
It could be anything. Grab his dick and twist it. Like, I don't care what you fucking do.
That's your go-to. That's kind of
what's
scary.
Right there. Me and Danhausen right on the same eye level. Just punch him in the dick.
Dick twist.
Good old dick twist.
Oh man. I could see it. I could see a triple threat, honestly.
I'll take it.
Between the three of them, and then Mello pins Trick,
Oh man.
and
Yeah.
and
can
Ilya
see
doesn't have, and it doesn't.
It doesn't hurt Ilya.
Yeah,
Yeah. I could see it.
not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
But no, I like the ending to that, you know. It just plays back into what I was saying earlier. Like, you know, while Trick is off TV for, you know, however long, just like I said, just have Mello just wreaking havoc, you know, on all the baby faces, you know. So
I could definitely see it. That was some good news to announce for tonight.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. It's always great. It's always a good thing.
Yeah, Sammy's like, it wasn't on my bingo card either. But all right, guys, let's close the tab. Let's head on out of here. Cam, where can we find you?
well, you can find me on TikTok at Cam's Wrestling Corner and at Call Me Cam G. You can find me right here on River City Radio every single Monday night with the Table Spot with Mike and Sean. You can find me on River City Radio every single Wednesday night, which is tomorrow night, for The Boom with Metalcore Mike and Phil Khan. You can find me on our sister page, Off the Top Media, every single Friday night with Friday Night Review with Scalz and Jamie. And then, let me not mess this up. You can find me on Twitter at Cam and Cheese 317. And if that does not sizzle your bacon, you can find me on Instagram at 317 Bacon, Eggs, and Cam.
Jax?
You know how hard it was to find Cam to tag him in something?
I had to send him the link to your profile
He had to send
because
it
he
on-
couldn't figure it out.
But I will get Cam's beard hashtagging, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
I saw that. Y'all really
Hashtag
try to
Cam's
get
beard.
hashtag Cam's beard trending.
Yeah, we're going to get it trending. That's my goal. I just have to wait for WrestleMania season to die down. You can find me here every Wednesdays every Tuesdays for NXT on tap. Sundays for Sorry for the Interruption, which we will be back Sunday. I was just extremely tired this week. Then we were like Vengeance Day was going on, and we didn't add them two together. But you can also find me tomorrow night on the Wolfpack Podcast over at twitch.tv/Wolfpack Podcast there. Thursday, we have moved Nerdy News at 4:20, same time, same network, just a different day. So Thursday will be Nerdy News at 4:20 with me and Will Gray. Anything else, follow me on Twitter at Jaxbo2020.
I am Scalz. You can find me here on Off the Top Media on both Twitch and YouTube. Make sure you guys go check out the YouTube page, watch some videos, help us get to where we can start monetizing the videos on YouTube. We are almost halfway there in regards to the watch hours. So any help you guys can do is appreciated. I am the host of NXT on Tap every Tuesday night, right after NXT here on Off the Top Media. On Friday nights, we have Friday Night Review with myself and Cam, occasionally Jamie, occasionally other guests, where we discuss everything that happened on SmackDown and whatever sport is going on at the moment. We will be talking this Friday about SmackDown and then covering the Super Bowl. We're not talking about Taylor Swift. We'll be covering the Super Bowl. We're not talking about Swifties.
Taylor Swift.
And then watch out for all the videos we'll be posting. We will be starting to cover more hockey. I'm looking to introduce baseball for the channel as well. So make sure everybody checks it out. Follow us. Thank you guys for stopping by. We'll hope to see you guys again soon.